Welcome everybody to live Christmas tutorial number, I want to say 8. Pretty sure it's 8. Thank you so much for coming. Glad to see you here. And Cody, Brian, and Timber have made it again for number 8. So all still in the running. Awesome job, guys. Thank you so much for coming every week. It's so nice to have people who will be here every week. It's just so cool. So thanks, guys. Still in the running for every week. What? Yeah. All right, so today we're doing Angels from the Realms of Glory, as you heard in the beginning there, and we'll do it with less mistakes than I did in the beginning there. So I started playing in the beginning, and then I started smiling, and then I started laughing about the way I was smiling in my head and thinking something else. Then I played it wrong, and then I was going through the song I was thinking about earlier when I was laughing about smiling, and I played it wrong again. So people, when you're playing a song, especially on a live stream, pay attention to what you're playing. So forgive me for that beginning. I got in my own head and that was strange. All right. Thank you, everybody. So, you know what's coming next. Go download the Reawaken Hymns Christmas hymn book from the address above. I got this time. Or there's a link in the description below. 20 free Christmas chord charts. Go download it. No reason not to. Most of you have probably downloaded it already. And thank you for that. In fact, cool news, we have almost 700 downloads of the Reawaken Christmas hymn book now. 700 downloads since we started this just like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So that is awesome. I mean, 700 people have Christmas chord charts and can play Christmas hymns now. I mean, they may have been able to before, but now we know they can. So go download that and share it with anybody you know who needs it. And let me know you're here in the chat. So if you're here on Facebook, let me know. I can't actually see the Facebook feed. I can only see the chat. So the only way I know you're here is if you leave a comment in the live chat on Facebook. You Facebook people. If you're on YouTube, also I can see the live chat. So leave me comments. Let me know where you're from. All that stuff. Let me know what you're drinking tonight. Like Christmas drink, not, you know what I mean. Like what Christmas drink you have tonight. Which I'm back on eggnog. I had coffee on Saturday because I needed to wake up, but we're good. It's 7 o'clock in the evening, so it's eggnog time again. So grab your eggnogs, grab your wassail, grab your coffee if you need to wake up, whatever. Get your Christmas drink and let's play some Christmas songs, all right? Okay, so Angels from the Realms of Glory. I think we can get straight into it today. Got some fun stuff to talk about. Sean Caston is here and is sharing it with Kim. So Kim, your friend shared it, so you should come hang out. Thanks, Sean, for sharing that. So Angels from the Realms of Glory. We're going to go straight into the tutorial. We are playing in the key of G today. And I am capoed on 1, as you can see. And I'm capoed on 1 because I'm a very strange person. That's the only reason. For some reason, and it might just be like placebo effect, but I really like songs capoed on 1 or 3 or 5 or any capo position you shouldn't actually be in. Like I like to be in C sharp or D sharp or whatever. I don't know why. I'm weird like that. Sorry, but we're going to play in capoed on 1 tonight. So playing in the key of G, capoed on 1, which means we're actually playing in the key of G sharp or A flat, but we're going to use the G chord shapes. Timber is eggnog-less tonight. That's okay, Timber. It's cool. And Cody is eating donuts and drinking eggnog. So, oh, donuts sound good. All right. Key of G, capoed on 1. And our last 2 hymn tutorials have been in the key of G. So I'm going to go real quick through the chords. Really quick through the chords. But you can go check up on those previous ones. Or there's another video on the Reawaken channel that explains playing in the key of G just completely for 5 minutes. So you can look at that too. But real quick, key of G. We have our sticky fingers. Our sticky fingers, named courtesy of Timber, I believe. Our sticky fingers are on the 1st and 2nd string on the 3rd fret. And these fingers don't move much at all. So our G is our normal G chord with sticky fingers. Our C is a C chord with sticky fingers. We're just dropping the G down the string. Our E minor is E minor with sticky fingers. Just moving those 2 fingers down to the 2nd fret. Our D is a D over F sharp with sticky fingers. And then so that's just a D like this with those sticky fingers, and then you're adding F sharp up there with your pointer finger, or Brian mentioned a while ago you could also do it with your thumb. And then only other chord on this song is an A major, which if you're into theory, you realize is not actually in the key, so it shouldn't be there, but it is. That's an A major. That's just a straight up A major and no sticky fingers because it shouldn't be in the key, so we can't use our sticky fingers. And I will explain that in just a second. Cody's eggnog and donuts aren't a good mix. Cody, I don't believe you. I think eggnog and donuts would be delicious. All right, so I want to talk about the A major and why it's there. Jeremy's here on Facebook. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at my chat. Jeremy says he's one of those wealthy worship leaders, so he's eating ramen. The meal of champions. Ramen. Good job, man. All right, so let's talk about that A major. We're gonna have a theory break here. I wish I had like a explosion video that said theory time or something. I didn't make one, but all right. Let's talk a little music theory for just like 2 or 3 minutes here because I really, really love music theory. And if you're not into music theory, you should go just check out some stuff because it's really interesting. It's like the science behind music. I love science and I love music, so it's perfect. And it can actually help you play a lot better too as a worship leader. It can help you transition and change keys easy and stuff. So let me talk a little bit about theory here as I explain the major second that we have in our song. So you will see a major second actually a lot in hymns and really, really a lot. That's an official term. Really, really a lot in Christmas music. It's almost kind of a Christmas sounding chord. Sorry, reading a comment. So on the last line of the verse of this song, where it says, now proclaim Messiah's birth, you'll see E minor. That's fine. And you'll see a D at the end. That's fine for the key of G. But in the middle of those is an A major, which doesn't exist in the key of G. In the key of G, the A chord should be minor. So each chord in a key has a certain aspect to it. It's either major or minor based on the position it is. So there's 7 chords in each key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because there's 7 notes in each scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 chords in each key, and the 1 chord is always major, 2 and 3 are minor, 4 and 5 are major, 6 is a minor, and 7 is diminished. That's why you don't hear many 7th chords, because diminished chords sound really goofy. So any key you're playing in, those are going to be the majors and minors. So if you're in D major, E minor, F minor, etc., those are how you know what's major and what's minor. And that's how you can change keys easily if you use something called like the Nashville numbers or chord functions or chord numbers, whatever you want to call it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know what to play. That's how. So in the key of G, an A is our second chord, so it should be minor, but here it's major. And what that does, and it's really cool, is that majoring a second chord produces what would be the 5th chord of the key of the 5th chord in the key we're in. I promise that made sense. So it's the dominant of a dominant. I know that sounds weird, but basically the major second leads into your 5th chord, and your 5th chord always leads into your 1 chord or your root chord or the most important chord in the key. And that's why it's there. So the A major, if you think about it, an A major is the 5th chord of what key? An A major would be the 5th chord in the key of D. And you'll see the next chord on our chart there is a D. And that's the 5th chord in our current key, G. I'm sorry if this sounds complicated, but I'm trying to get it as simple as possible. So that A chord if you were in the key of D, would be the fifth chord, and the fifth chord always leads to the one chord, which means that A chord sounds like the next chord should be a D chord, and in our chord sheet it is. So by majoring the second, which is the A, you produce a dominant chord or a fifth chord that leads to your fifth chord. If that made any sense, please let me know. I know that's tricky, but there's tons of articles you can look up online that'll explain that a little better. So let me know if you have any questions about what I said there. Brian says, most hymns normally written in those keys. Thanks, man. Brian says, keep the theory coming. I will, man. I love it. All right. So the second chord, it's a very Christmassy sounding chord, very hymn sounding chord, and it's the second of the second, or the dominant of the dominant. And I'm going to play it, and I think you'll hear what I mean. So I'm going to play the last line of the verse, now proclaim Messiah's birth, and you'll hear that the A sounds like it should go to the D. Now proclaim Messiah's. You really want me to play D now, don't you? Birth. See how that A major really led to the D, but the D then leads to the G. Now in our song we don't go to a G there because they're tricky, but so you can see that A major really leads us to that D. So it's the fifth chord of our fifth chord, basically. I hope that makes sense. That's why it exists. I think it's a really cool thing. It's really tricky, really confusing, but it's a fun little quirk in music theory. All right, we'll get off of that. Thank you so much for sticking around for that. So I am going to play the first verse and chorus of our song, Angels We Have Heard from the Realms, Angels from the Realms of Glory. Combine two songs there. So I'm going to play that. You can play along with me. Again, key of G, K put on 1. So let's play that first verse and the chorus, and then I'll go back and explain what I did. Angels from the realms of glory, wing your flight o'er all the earth. Ye who sang creation's story, now proclaim Messiah's birth. Come and worship, come and worship, worship Christ the newborn King. All right, there it is. Hopefully you could play along. Cody asked what I play for the G over B. Good question. Get to that in just a second. Actually, no, I'll explain that right now. Good question. So the G over B. So if you make your G chord that we explained there with the sticky fingers, get rid of those two top fingers where the G is. Actually, don't get rid of them. Just get rid of your middle finger there and leave that on the B. And that's a G over B. So here's a G. Here's a G over B. What that slash B means is that your bass note is a B now instead of a G. So in our regular G chord, you can see our bass note is a G, and then when I play this as my lowest note, it's a B, and it's a B over G, because our bass note is a B. So that's how I play a B over G. Yep, that's what that slash sign means. So if you see that slash sign on any chord, it just means that your bass note is whatever is on the right side of that slash. So normally a G chord, your bass note is a G. G chord is a bass note of G. That makes sense. But if you say G over B, it means your bass chord or your bass note is now a B. Or like when you see that D over F sharp, it means your bass note is now an F sharp. So if you're playing with a band, your bassist can play that slash note and you can just play the regular chord. So if I was playing with a band and I saw a D over F sharp, I might just play a D and let my bass player play F sharp. If that makes sense. So that's what a slash chord means. Hopefully that helps. If you have trouble with that, you can look up slash chords online. It'll give you shapes for all of them. All right, so let me start with the intro of this song. The chords of this song are actually pretty simple. The chords of the song are pretty simple. They can be a little fast sometimes, but other than that, they're just basically, other than that A we talked about, just a 1, 4, 5, 6 regular, and lots of long chords. The picking's pretty easy, so I'll explain the most difficult part, which is really that intro I played, and then I'll explain how I picked the rest of the song, and then you'll have it. So here's the intro. So you can see there on the screen, we start with the G, then the G over B. We play that B as our bass note. Then a C. Then a G over B again. Then a C. Then a D over F sharp. Then a G. So what you might want to focus on there is what your bass note is, because it's really a walking bass line. So it's like this. So that's what the bass notes are playing, and that's why those chords are in that order. I played that wrong. So I'm picking to accent those bass notes. So the first note I'm picking on every chord is that bass note, and then I'm just picking down the chord, usually the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So again, it sounds like this. I'm going to play it really slow. I'm just picking on every beat. Bum 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 bum. Just picking on every beat. So I'm going to play it really slow. Hopefully you can play along. G. Sorry. And I'm actually picking I'm picking the 2nd string before I pick the 3rd string. So it's 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, bass, 4, 2, 3, bass, 4, 2, 3, bass, 4, 2, 3, and then on the last chord I pick all the way down. There you go. Yeah, I'll play the full song, Cody, in just a bit. And yeah, you could do this song with a pick as well, and it sounds really good. I finger pick it to give it a little softer feel, but you can pick it just with a pick just as good. Sounds good. So that's the intro. If you don't have that yet, no problem. Might take a little bit. Just rewind and go watch it 100 times. Don't rewind yet because we got more to go while we're live. But after we're done, you can go back and watch it and play it as many times as you want. So that's the intro, and then all the verses. I pick all of the verses and all of the choruses. So it's a really simple song dynamically in picking. So for instance, the verse. Angels from the realms of glory, wing your flight o'er all the earth. Ye who sang creation's stories, play that wrong. Now proclaim Messiah's birth. Come and worship. So I'm just picking the whole thing. And to be honest, you can pick whatever strings you want to as long as you're picking the right chord. I change what strings I pick. Often I'll do a bass note, 4th string, and then pick the 3rd and 2nd at the same time, so it sounds like this. Or you can pick all the way down like this. Or you can mix it up like this. They all sound good, gonna be honest. So pick however you feel comfortable. If picking straight down is the easiest thing, go for it. This song, one of the good things about this song is it sounds really good no matter how you pick it, in my opinion. All right. Cody, I don't know where Chris Tomlin is, but Ronald is actually here with us. Right now, he is in the shot. See if you can find him. Ooh, it's like Where's Waldo, but where's Ronald? We'll play Where's Ronald. Tell me if you find Ronald. All right, so that is it for the song, really. I mean, it's nothing special. The only other tricky part I would say is the part that I messed up every single time I just played it. That's the third line. Ye who sang creation story. That D over F sharp is very important that it just goes on the last measure, and I keep playing it wrong for some reason. I don't know why. We know flight o'er all the earth. The third line. Ye who sang creation story now. So it's not even the whole measure. It's like the second half of the last measure. Because you just want that chord for that one note. Because you transition. It's kind of a weird vocal transition. So you just want that D over F sharp on the third line for the last two notes of the last measure. Let me play it. Ye who sang creation story now. Yep. So just the last two beats of the last measure is all you want that D over F sharp for. Because it's really just a transition chord to go with the vocal transition. Ye who sang creation story now proclaim. Like that. So that's the only other tricky part. Cody found him. He's in the Christmas tree. Ronald's hanging out in the tree. He thinks he's a monkey today. He's not. He's a stegosaurus, but whatever. All right. So we're good. Let me know if you have any questions about the song. If you're watching right now, let me know in the live chat. If you're watching later, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them. But let's go through, play the whole song. There's 4 verses, but they're very short, so no problem. Grab your guitars. Let's play it. Capo on 1. Here we go. Whole song. Angels from the realms of glory, wing your flight o'er all the earth. Ye who sang creation story, now proclaim Messiah's birth. Come and worship, come and worship, worship Christ, the newborn King. Shepherds in the fields abiding, watching o'er your flocks by night. God with man is now residing, yonder shines the infant light. Come and worship, worship Christ, the newborn King. Sages, leave your contemplations, brighter visions beam afar. Seek the great desire of nations, ye have seen his natal star. Come and worship Christ, the newborn King. Saints before the altar bending, watching long in hope and fear. Suddenly the Lord descending in his temple shall appear. Come and worship Christ, the newborn King. Bam! Did it. Awesome. Good job, good job, good job. Hopefully you'll be able to play that. Even if you can't do the picking, just strum, sing along, totally fine. Play what you can play. As long as you play along, learn the song. Awesome. If you have any final questions about the song, let me know. Again, in the live chat or later. Leave it in the comments. Hope that was helpful to you. Hopefully that helps you play that song. It was tricky for me to learn that song at first. It took me a while to get the picking pattern and what chords went along with the vocal transitions, but finally got the chords simplified down. I think it's pretty simple to play, and I think it's relatively easy now. So hopefully you can play that song, and it might be new to you. It was new to me, actually. I know I probably should have known that song, but that one was new to me until I learned it, actually, for Reawaken Hymns. So one of my favorites now. Angels from the Realms of Glory. Thanks so much for joining us. Again, check out the Reawaken Hymns hymn book. Go download it. Totally free. Reawaken Hymns Christmas hymn book. Sorry. Get the Christmas hymn book. Totally free. Go download that. There's a description. There's a link in the description below this video. And thank you so much for joining. Sorry, I'm reading live chat. Thanks, Cody. Your air guitar will be fine. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Timber. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, everybody, for joining. Timber's got some practicing to do. No problem, man. So do I. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And I will see you back here on Wednesday. We have 3 this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today, obviously, Monday, Angels from the Realms of Glory. Wednesday will be A Little Town of Bethlehem, which is kind of very similar to the song in its chord structure, actually. So if you watch today, and next week, every time. Next time, Wednesday will be easier because these are very similar songs. And then on Friday is the most popular Christmas song ever. Well, one of them probably, right? Silent Night. Silent Night. And if there's any song that churches play with just an acoustic guitar sometimes in Christmas, it's Silent Night for their candlelight services. So definitely stop by on Friday for Silent Night. I'll teach you a cool little lead line I do while I'm playing chords. I really like it. So check that out on Friday. But next time is Wednesday. So 2 days from now, Wednesday, 7 p.m., I will see you here for A Little Town of Bethlehem. And thanks for joining me, and see you later.